Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Actions to Wealth trading show. We've got tea and hot sauce with myself and Orlando. Orlando is not in yet, but hopefully he will be in at some point. And in the meantime, I'm just going to grab the screen and share a couple of things that I am looking at for today. First of all, I'm going to be having a look at the indices, the US indices, the Nasdaq and the S&P, because well, we can't be certain that the uptrends are resuming as yet, but price action is certainly bullish at the moment. So what I'm looking at is potential for shorter term long opportunities. Bear with me just a sec. So yes, what I'm looking at is the daily price action and not necessarily getting into a long-term trade, because of course, with the markets as they are currently, they could turn around at any minute. We could find that we get a lower high or something like that. So I'm just looking for opportunities that are intraday opportunities that may eventually turn into longer term swing opportunities, but that have a good enough reward to risk to be able to trade them long regardless of what the long term outlook might be. What I'm looking at here, you can see the horizontal levels that I have drawn in. So I am looking, let me just get my little pencil up. So this horizontal level of what was resistance, it was broken and retested as support. And then when price retraced, we had this big week of retracement. It was retested again twice as support just here. So this level does seem to have held. On top of that, I also have this previous high, which was broken and then retested as support. It's been vaguely retested as support just here as well, broken back down through, but right now we're sitting above that level. So I don't really have any strong levels of resistance in terms of price action above where price currently is. And on the daily time frame, price looks bullish. On the lower time frames, I'm going to be looking for longs. The only thing I have above price to be cautious about here is simply this previous high. Really for no other reason. I mean, I don't usually use just one previous high or one previous low as support or resistance, but of course on this particular market, we have never had price up at these levels before, so there is very limited opportunity for it to have made or created levels of support and resistance. But simply because we do have this price action whereby price has come down, it's hit a low down here, it's come up, hit a high, and then gone back down. So that is a high in price action, even though it's really just looking at bar by bar price action rather than a swing, but it is a point at which price has reacted. Sellers have come into the market, and potentially sellers could come into the market again, especially because we no longer have a really nice intact uptrend on the daily time frame. So that's a level that I'm going to be a little bit cautious about. But in terms of trading, I'm going to be looking for long opportunities all the way up to that level on any of the lower time frames. It might be 30-minute, it might be 15-minute, just wherever I find a retracement down to a suitable level to buy into. That's what I'll be doing. I'll be cautious about that level. That means either taking some profit, partial profit at that level, or just monitoring the trade as it approaches that level to see whether I might need to react to the market at that point. It's just a level that I have in mind. If price manages to get through that level, then for me, really, the back to the daily time frame. If price manages to get through this level here, then that turns into a swing trade that I would be adding to positions on. So until that level, I'm just happy to take one trade up to that area. If it gets through, then on any time frame I see fit, on any time frame my strategy sets up on, once we're through that level, I will be looking for swing trading opportunities for as long as that uptrend then continues. So those are my thoughts on the NASDAQ. My thoughts on the S&P as well. Very, very similar, in fact. I don't have as clear technical levels here. Let me just go to... So I don't have as clear technical levels. I've got this previous high, which was broken. It was retested as support before quickly being broken back down, but it has been broken back up. So again, it's not a particularly fantastic level. You know, any other currency pair or any other instrument, I probably wouldn't be looking at this as a level at all, but it's just we've got so little to go on up here with these indices because they have never been this high. That's the reason that I'm just taking this as a level because I have nothing else to use. So it's not a strong level, it's just part of my roadmap. It's just giving me an indication right now that price is pushing up. I do have a higher low on this daily time frame, and I will be looking for long opportunities. 4 hourly, just starting to perhaps trend to the upside. A little bit cautious about this area here because I've got a double top there. I've got some support around here. So that's another area that I need to just make sure price can push through. Hourly time frame, I do have an uptrend, higher highs, higher lows. So I'm just going to be waiting for the correct opportunity here to get into the market on any of these intraday time frames. I'd say for me, it's probably the hourly that I like the look of best at the moment. So that's the one that I will be mainly looking out for, but I'm definitely going to be looking at the 15-minute as well, just because things can happen quite quickly. If price suddenly decides to retrace down to this point here, as long as it doesn't happen all in one bar, as long as I get a nice steady retracement, then that could look nice on the 15 or 30-minute time frame. So that is my outlook on the S&P and the NASDAQ. The other thing that I wanted to look at was gold, because gold, I can't remember if I was mentioning this specifically last week, but I know I've definitely been looking at this as a consolidation pattern. It's messy, it's not ideal. As a consolidation pattern, it's very difficult actually to kind of delineate where the trend lines should go. But let's just call it here with this most recent high test bar as the high and the most recent low test bar as the low. That's where my consolidation currently lies. So the options are, of course, for price to continue consolidating into this area or to break out, and at the moment it is breaking out. What I need in order for this not to be a false break is I need price to retest, whether it retests the trend line or perhaps it just retests something else and continue. So price could still come back into this area and continue ranging, because it has tended to do that. You know, I previously had my line there and it slightly broke to the downside. It's slightly broken out to the upside previously as well, and it's then continued consolidating. So we need to be sure that this is a proper breakout. But if I were to call this a proper breakout, then what I'm looking at is actually based on this previous high here, price has broken out, retested, and is heading upwards. So this is something that on an intraday time frame that's even more clear on the hourly time frame there. We've got this horizontal level It's broken out, retested, it's stayed above the trend lines, it's broken out through that previous high, retested that previous high, and off it goes. So this is something that I am also looking for long opportunities on an intraday basis. And again, I'm not necessarily looking in the immediate future for a really, really long trade up to these previous highs. That's not necessarily my aim. My aim right now is to get in on an intraday basis, whatever time frame that might be, and just make sure that there is enough profit before these other previous areas where prices turned around. So I need to get into a trade and definitely have enough profit by here to turn that into a free trade. Then I can scale in, and then potentially if price breaks through this previous high, there may be another opportunity and I can build the position that way. So I'm not entering this trade based on the fact that I believe that price is definitely headed back up to these highs and beyond. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is entering a trade based on the fact that I have enough reward to risk to potentially then scale in, scale out, keep taking profit for as long as that continues. So in the short term, all I need really is enough reward to risk to get up to this level, which looks clear to me that that will happen. There's another level just here. That is a slight concern because we've definitely got sellers coming into the market here. It's definitely been resistance over here, definitely support just here, resistance just here. So that's another level that I do need to be a little bit careful about. That might be a little bit more tricky to find a trade that gives me a profit before that level. So I will be taking that into account. Hopefully, if the trade is on something like the 15-minute time frame, then I can get a profit before then. Alternatively, the other option, of course, is to wait for that level to break, take a retest, and then head to the next level. That could also be an option if I don't get a good enough reward to risk to trade up to that level on its own. So those are pretty much the things that I was going to go through for today. It's very similar to the markets that I was looking at last week, really, but it's quite pleasing for me that the market has come back into the direction that I want it to be in. Basically, the same things happened on Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar, I've been bullish for as long as I can remember, but it did look like price was slowing down and getting sluggish. At the moment, it's taken off again. So all I'm going to be doing is looking for opportunities into this to the upside, making sure I'm not trading into any resistance, but my bias is to the upside. We even see, that might be clearer on a 4-hourly perhaps, we even see a very messy head and shoulders down here. So we've got the left-hand shoulder there, head up there, a pretty messy right-hand shoulder there, very messy neckline, but it is a reversal pattern. So price has come down strongly, but then it's hit this level and it has shown a reversal pattern and is now heading potentially to the upside again. So that goes back on my watch list for trading to the upside. Very similar to Kiwi dollar as well, actually. Kiwi dollar just over here. And again, looks pretty bullish at the moment. So again, it's just going to be a case of waiting for those retracements, waiting for opportunities in, and making sure not to trade into resistance, which that would be my next port of call there. We can see that that level is resistance just here. It's almost resistance there. It's certainly resistance there. A little bit just there. We've got support all the way through here, and support even all the way back down to 2017 at that level. So that's a significant level. I definitely want to be cautious of trading through that level, but up to that level, absolutely fine. And even better, of course, would be if price can strongly break through that level, come back down to retest, then I really will be looking for long opportunities on all the time frames, maybe even the daily time frame as well for that. So that is pretty much all I was planning to look through today. Quite a few markets to add to your watch lists if you are trend trading, and especially intraday trend trading. And without Orlando, I am going to simply draw the show to a close. We shall hope that he is back with us tomorrow for a bit more chit chat and some of his market analysis as well. So cheers for tuning in, guys. Thanks a lot for coming along. We do have the US session, or the preview to the US session show, in just under 30 minutes time with Jeff and Ash. So you've got that to look forward to. And in the meantime, I wish you a wonderful day. Happy trading, and we will speak again tomorrow. Cheers, everyone.